what happened to R. Kelly can happen to you. What happened to Bill Cosby, what happened to Deshaun Watson, all the motherfuckers. It can happen to you too. If you're messing with women that do not have your back. It's 2023. Women play with that consent thing, this whole consent stuff and whatnot. Women play with that consent thing in 2023 like it's Madden sliders. They just turn on and off and on and off whenever they feel like it. They feel bad. They feel a certain type of way. They'll change their mind. Your career's done. You have to be careful out there. Technically, if you really think about it, Matt Araiza technically should be in jail anyways, even though it was all consensual, but the girl was underage. She was 17. But that, I guess the video evidence was so bad, like they were just like, bruh, like she was going off. And I'm talking about even her friends ratted her out. Was like, nah, she was acting like a hoe that night. And now you start to see, once all the video evidence is starting to come up, now you're starting to see why she false allegated on him. Because she was about to be embarrassed by her friends. Her friends was probably about to tell the whole school how much of a hoe she was towards those college people. And she probably found out that an NFL prospect was amongst the people that she slept with. So her and her family tried to extort him. Remember that when that initially came out? She said she had already met with him before the draft, trying to contact him about the situation. That's extortion right there. I'm like, I remember I saw that last year. I was like, no, well, I think that was last year, but a while back, once the story first came out, I'm like, oh, she extorted that nigga. Anyway, I had dropped a video last year in June. Obviously, I didn't have a whole lot of subscribers then, but I was dropping knowledge to y'all niggas, man. DJ Academics, it was a leak video of DJ Academics from back in the day. He was talking about how in college, there's no difference between 17 and 21. He said, basically, if there was a 17-year-old amongst the college people in the parties, even though he basically said, I'll just go. You know what I mean? He'd still go. He'd still smash or whatever if put in that hypothetical situation. And he said, basically, you know, not everybody's checking IDs. And even though DJ Academics is a whole ass nigga, I actually agreed with him. I said, bro, I'm like, people, y'all don't know how those college parties work or how the bars work. Dude, I see underage girls sneaking into these spots all the time, especially college parties, underage girls and underage boys. I knew of an underage boy. Before I'll say this, in college parties, and I said this in my video, I told you what be happening. I told you, and it got explained in this case. The dudes are not checking for IDs. It's a college party. They're just assuming everybody's of age. So basically, they're like, okay, if a girl's here, that means, hey, she already know what's up. She knows what's up. You came here to get fucked up or fucked or both. And that girl came for both. No pun intended. You know what I mean? So what people got to understand, when you go to those, especially those college parties, there's 17-year-olds over there, 17-year-old girls, 17-year-old boys, 16-year-old, 15-year-olds at those parties too. Not just at college parties, at grown adults parties, bars, nightclubs. I see that shit all the time with them bogus ass IDs. And on top of that, certain bars, they don't even be checking IDs like that. Especially if you're a girl, if you're pretty enough, you go in there with that bogus ID. You know, also when I was in college, I remember there was this dude. He looked grown as hell, but he was 17 years old, and he had bags like he had two 19-year-old chicks. Two. I don't even think he ended up smashing, but she stayed with him the whole night. That's how much she liked him. But he was 17. And I brought up that argument. I'm like, so are we going to arrest her now? Doesn't that make her a predator? Because she ain't checked ID. People don't like, so when we get into these conversations, I told you, I knew like in the future it's going to be a case like this, because technically he should be in jail for statutory rape because she was 17 at the time. Technically. But I knew it was going to be a day where the evidence is going to be so bad where the girl's going to be so much of a hoe that they just can't even give him anything, which they should have pardoned R. Kelly for, mind you. But that's a whole nother story. I knew eventually it was going to happen because Matt Araiza technically did the same shit that R. Kelly did. If you think about it, If you really think it still qualifies as statutory rape, but hey, what do I know? What do I know? Anyway, be careful out there. That videotape evidence must have been so bad. Like, because I remember when the story first came out, I was like, there's nothing to this. That's why he got dismissed. But now with the video stuff, oh my God. She must have been 304ing on a whole nother level.